We are live after all them bloody issues that we had, technical difficulties. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, hello, welcome, good afternoon, everybody. Hope you're okay, enjoying the start to your weekend. Welcome to Real Reds Talk. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're currently watching or watching it later on, whatever you're doing. We're pushing for 200 subs before the season starts, so that would be amazing. On today's show, we're going to be talking about the Glazers taking more gold in dividends, the Frankie de Jong saga, Cristiano Ronaldo not happy with transfer movement and missing out on our targets consistently. Let me just get a quick swig of my drink. Hope you're all having a good weekend, though. Now, I'm going to start off with the parasites that run our club. And obviously, as you can see, this is why I've got this on today. Now, the Glazers yesterday taking another £11 million in dividends. And for some people watching, maybe you're like, well, they own the club. So what's the issue with that? And to people, who may say that, I'd say there's a few key points. That money could have been invested into the training ground or other facilities. We've just come off the worst season possible since the Premier League began. We still haven't signed a single player, even though teams like City, Liverpool, everyone that finished 20 points above us have just signed 3 players. You've got City who just signed Haaland, Phillips, and they're talking with Cucurella from Brighton. You've got Liverpool who signed Nunes, Carvalho from Fulham, and I think a right back, I can't remember the geezer's name. You've got all these teams, even Arsenal. Bloody Arsenal are doing business. What's going on? So yeah, we haven't signed a single player. Yeah, they're taking out £11 million. Debt are still rising above 500 million from when they first bought us, and it's been that way literally since they signed on at United. In terms of revenue, we are at our lowest point. In terms of like cash coming into the club, we are at our lowest point compared to previous years. So that's just a few reasons to list off to say like this is why we're getting more and more frustrated. So as a business owner, surely you would look at these issues, right, and try to address them. But just like the parasites they just ignore everybody and take the money anyway. And this has been going on for 15 years, however long. 2006, I think it was when they taken over, 2005. So over 15 years, they've been doing this. I would like to advise, sounds a bit Irish, doesn't it? I would like to advise Joel, Avram, and the other rats to read the room or even social media for that fact, because at the minute there's a dark cloud over Manchester United right now, and I have to say it doesn't surprise me at all that they are doing this. But nevertheless, it still fucking frustrates me. And it's more frustrating because I know they will never ever sell the club. I know they won't. They have a consistent revenue stream, and the actual price of the club itself will just go up, 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 up. And they know that as business owners. They know that. Like I always say, if you was to offer, right, the Glazers 10 years of Champions League football for the next 10 years, 20 years, or whatever, they'd take it. Even if it was like, right, well, you don't win a trophy, Joel. You don't win a trophy, Avram. Blah, blah, blah. They'd be like, well, what? I get Champions League money every year. I don't care. I'll take that. And they would. For a fact they would. And it's just more frustrating because they'll never sell it. It really is. And as the fans, we kind of feel the brunt of this. You think about the absolute shit show of a season we've just had. Players not turning up, fighting for the club being run like a marketing circus. The prioritizing social media clicks over performances on the pitch. And we've got owners that just don't give a fuck at all about the club as long as they're making money. And us fans are right at the bottom of this fucking pit, feeling this pressure from all angles, from everywhere. You got even clubs like bantering us, like, do you know what I mean? We're Manchester United, one of the biggest clubs in the world, but we're ran like a League Two team. We literally ran like a League Two team. So when it comes to the Glazers, I think it's kind of look. I'm all for protests. Anyone knows me. I've been at the protest. I've allegedly been on the pitch when all that stuff was kind of going on. We had that, especially over the Super League, and I thought the height of that would have been, the best time for it to push them out because you were hitting the pockets. You had sponsorships like the new sponsorship with Team Viewer was coming through, and there was like you had loads of people leaving really bad ratings, giving them bad scores and stuff, and the sponsors were starting to panic. Now, when the sponsors start to panic, when they've got these big deals in place, they start to pull out of them a little bit, and that's when they'll worry because it's like I said, it's hitting the pocket. I thought the height of that was the perfect time to push him out. And if you would have kept the pressure on a bit more and more, then maybe something would have happened. Maybe. I'm not saying a small percentage, but maybe something would have happened. Now, they went and bought Cristiano Ronaldo, who any United fan, you're pulling on heartstrings, bringing Ronaldo back to the club. It's a romance. Seeing him back at Newcastle when he scored them 2 goals was just like unbelievable. It was something United fans will never, ever forget. But that pulls on the heartstrings of United fans, and they know that would have happened. Also, not to mention the amount of clicks Ronaldo gets for social media. The amount he brings his own audience. Ronaldo, you have people following Cristiano Ronaldo who aren't even fans of it, who aren't even fans of football or fans of. They just follow Ronaldo. They just love Ronaldo, and I think he's just like 200, 300 million followers on Instagram or something. So he brings his own following as it is anyway. So they looked at this as a deal. I think the numbers were like they were bought him for like 12 to 20 million from Juventus, which I think is bullshit. But even if that was the case, we're paying him 500, 600K a week, which is definitely worth. Come on, it's Cristiano. They would have got that money back anyway. They knew that for a fact. So bringing Ronaldo back was a no-brainer for him. And if he would have gone to Manchester City, it would have been absolutely catastrophic. And I could not imagine how we would have reacted. So they knew that would pull on United's heartstrings. You've got Rafa Varane, who signed as well. World-class centre-back from Real Madrid, won numerous Champions Leagues, looked like a really good signing at the time, £40 million, decent fee, happy days. And then you finally get Jadon Sancho through the door, who we've been chasing for 2 years. So that summer, everyone's looking at it, and you get about 50% of the fan base that are like, I'm happy with that. They kind of sit back. The Glazers win. Do you know what I mean? They win, ultimately. And then they get another few years of shit. They'll spend some money, and not everyone forgets about it, of course, but certain people forget about it. I'm not very optimistic in terms of having, just turn my mic up a bit, of having new owners, because I just can't see any way of it happening. I can't see him selling. I think the club's probably worth about £4 billion at the minute, and when they first bought it, it was probably about 600 million or something. So they know it's just going to go up and up and up and up because of sponsorship deals, eyeballs on the club, the global fan base, everything. Unless we have a really, really catastrophic season and up in relegation or something like that, I just can't see him selling at all. I really can't. And they've got that, like I alluded to before, the constant revenue stream. So I think it's going to be really hard to get him out. I'm not saying it can't be done. And I'm not saying don't protest, because I protest myself. I fight for what I believe in, but it's going to be really difficult to get him out. But I just wanted to say my piece on the fact that they're taking £11 million out of the club. £11 million out of the club when we've just the worst end to the season ever since the Premier League probably began. The worst season. It was so bad. So much shit going on outside of the club and inside of the club. The club from top to bottom, board members, managers, different managers, interim managers coming in, etc. You've got, our training facilities. So when we first went into Carrington, it was like the most up-to-date ones, which is what you should have for a big club, right? Now, 20 years on, whatever it is, we're still using the same facilities. You've got other clubs like Leicester City, even Liverpool and stuff like that, with much better training facilities than us. We need to invest in that. We need to invest in the stadium. We need to invest in players. And they're just taking money out like it's a normal. Like, read the room, mate. Do you know what I mean? Read the room. It's fucking frustrating, especially when we sat here for 5-6 weeks, not signed anyone, just like, what's going on? And then they choose. I'm surprised there hasn't been any news come out today. I'm surprised. Nothing's come out today about us signing someone, or just kind of put a bit of spin around it to take the distraction away from them actually spending money, actually taking money, should I say, £11 million. They did the same in January as well. So I believe yearly they take dividends in January and June. So the January transfer window and the summer window. January, did we sign anyone? Did we fuck? They take £11 million out. June, have we signed anyone? Have we fucked? They take more money out. So, look, I could talk about the Glazers all day. I could talk to them for hours, how much I hate them and how much they're parasites to this club and how much they're actually stopping us. The growth of us, the potential of Manchester United, of how much money we make. We bring in about 600 million pound a year. The potential we would have, honestly, would be astronomical in the market, facility, everything around the club. But these are poisonous rats who take money. Poisonous rats who take money when it's, it's okay if you're taking dividends when we've just won the Premier League title, got to the Champions League final, won a few trophies. Because would as many people see their ass? No, they wouldn't. I wouldn't personally, because we're winning on the pitch. It's irrelevant. And we've got everything in structure. Everything's correct. Everything's fine. Do you think City owners now, after signing Haaland, Calvin Phillips and Cucurella, and they've just won the Premier League, do you think if the City owners take out £10 million now, the City fans are going to be arsed? Are they fucked? They'd be like, we don't care, mate. We're winning. Do you know what I mean? As much as I hate City and as much as they're a tin pot club, they'd be like, I don't care. So, yeah, I don't know what we're going to do about these owners. I really don't. We're kind of stuck with them, aren't they? Unfortunately, at the moment. Is there going to be a buyer? I don't think so. I don't think there's a person out there who's like a United fan. There was that talk of this Sir Richard, I can't remember the guy's name, who's a United fan who wanted to buy it for maybe 2.5 billion, but nothing ever concrete has come out of someone buying the club. And nothing ever concrete has come out surrounding the Glazers saying they're open to sell. They're happy to keep making money. So unfortunately, we've not got to put up with it. I will constantly rebel against them, but we have to deal with the circumstances at the moment. But yeah, I wanted to say some words on that because seeing that news yesterday saying they took more money out just fucking frustrated the life out of me. Let's just hope Ten Hag gets a few in the door before we start pre-season in a couple of days, because we've got the exact same squad going into pre-season. I think we start in 2 days and same people here. Well, not even the same people. More people have left. You've got Matic, Pogba, Lingard, Cavani, and maybe Juan Mata as well out the door. So we've got less of a squad. It's even worse of a squad until we sign some more players. So pre-season is just a fucking mystery at the minute. I'm not sure what's going on. We definitely need a few through the door. And speaking of a few through the door, I wanted to speak very quickly on the Frenkie de Jong deal. Now, I'm kind of 50-50 on this deal, right? And let me tell you why. Because, look, first off, with De Jong, right, I've always said it's the true intentions, his true intentions, should I say. Does he want to come to the club? Do we want to sign players consistently who don't want to be here? Do you remember what happened with Di Maria when we signed from Real Madrid? Didn't necessarily want to join, was kind of pushed out by Madrid. We spent 60 million. Look what happened. We've got the whole snake saga with that now. And he's constantly talking about he hated the club and blah, blah, blah. De Jong has openly said numerous times he loves Barcelona. He wants to stay there. It's his dream club. He's dreamed about it since he was a kid. Blah, blah, blah. Like, there's no signs there that he's like really open to move to Manchester United. Now, that could just be him being, respectful. It could be him being respectful. But in my mind, I do not want a player who doesn't want to be here. I've said it since day dot. If you go look at the TikTok clips anywhere on social media, Real Reds Talk, you will see I've consistently said I don't want a player. I want a player who loves United, who loves the project, and is willing to work hard. That is what we need. That should be on the scout report when we're looking at set players. And, the deal itself, the reason why I'm 50-50 is because we've got this new recruitment process now, which doesn't seem new at the moment, but we're trying to sell, De Jong for a fair price, okay? And we're trying to gather this reputation as tough negotiators in the market because a lot of people have bent us over and just basically taken whatever they want. It happened with Harry Maguire, 80 million. We bought Fred for 50 million, Wan-Bissaka for 50 million. The list is endless, right? So we're spending weeks on this deal to try get a fair price and be regarded as tough negotiators. Now, we could come out of this, spend 65 mil on De Jong with 10 mil add-ons. We're the winners, right? We get it for a fair price. Then in future deals, we can fall back on this, and then you start getting players for better money. You don't start getting taken for mugs, basically. I get that side of it, so I actually understand that, and I get what Murta's trying to do. However, we're taking over 5-6 weeks for one deal when other potential targets are getting wrapped up. I said at the start of the window, I still have concerns about his true intentions. I said, we can't be taking so long on deals. We just can't. We've got so much shit to do, so many players to bring in. We've got 4 or 5 positions potentially that we need to sort out, and it's the start of pre-season in a couple of days. Now, this leads on to my next point, why we spend so fucking long on transfers and why we're so poor at recruitment and convincing players. If we look at our history of transfers, right, I was going through this before, especially in most recent times. It took us 18 months to sign Bruno Fernandes. We only signed Donny van der Beek because Madrid kind of had an open run at him and was like, no, they kind of turned it down. We had a great relationship with Ajax. We ended up buying him. Never used him for 2 years. We was chasing Jadon Sancho for 2 years. Eventually got him, but we all remember how long that was. We thought it was going to be like the bird off Titanic, where it was like 84 years. It took so long. Do you remember when we was in for Haaland? Chose Dortmund over us. We thought we was getting, an absolute worldie of a player. Chose Dortmund. Same thing with Bellingham. We rolled the red carpet for got Fergie in, literally everything to try attract him to Manchester United. And he still chose the project at Dortmund over us, which tells you everything you need to need. And then other little transfers like signed Igalo on loan at the end of the window to cover up how shit the transfers were. I could go on and on and on and on. But over the past 10 years, this is ultimately the big point. The past 10 years, recruitment, right, has been a major issue. So the question is, I want to pose to you guys, do we stay stubborn to get a fair price for De Jong, or fuck the deal off and go for someone else? Let me know in the comment section. What do we do? Because it's getting to a certain impasse now where I'm kind of feeling like, look, if we don't get this De Jong deal done within the next week or 2 weeks or whatever, just fuck the deal off. Just go for someone else around Europe, a talented player, please. United fans are suffering at the minute from all angles, as I alluded to before, and it's not fair at all. We are going to be. I was saying to my mates before, right? When we finished the league, we was like 30 points behind City, 20 odd points behind Liverpool. City have just signed Phillips, Cucurella. Talking to Cucurella and Haaland on top of that. Liverpool signed 3 players. Chelsea are going to do business. Probably sign a Kunde. Who was the link with recently? Chelsea. Let me know in the chat. I can't remember. Chelsea linked with Sterling, I think, as well. They're looking at. So Chelsea are going to do business. Arsenal signed that Pablo Vieira from Porto. Looks like a decent player. A player we was apparently linked with. And they've signed a few more as well. They're looking at Rafinha from Leeds. What are we doing? 5-6 weeks on De Jong. What the fuck is going on? Do you know what I mean? I give it a week. If we don't sign him in a week, fuck it off. Go for someone else. End of that debate. But let me know in the comment section what you lot think. What should happen? So that's it on De Jong. The next thing I want to talk about. So I was just casually scrolling through Twitter the other day, seeing reports, but that's kind of where you get all your football news in it, a lot of it, and seeing certain things from Ronaldo saying, he's really unhappy, basically, with all the lack of movement in the window. And I'm sure it's safe to say we're all in agreement with Cristiano. But when a player of his caliber starts venting frustrations, it really does highlight our incompetence in the market. And the next year or so will be the last years where the true last year where he can perform at the top level. Because I don't think, even though how much of a freak he is, I don't think it's going to be 3, 4, 5 years of him playing at that level. I think he gets to about 39, 40, and you'll really start to see a dip with Cristiano. And obviously, like any serial winner, he wants to win trophies. He wants to break more records. He goes on to say he likes Ten Hag's attacking philosophy, but if Ten Hag can bring in players he wants, it's just going to be another season of attempting. If he can't bring in the players he wants, it's going to be another season of attempting top 4. And knowing what type of personality Ronaldo has, it's obviously going to be really frustrating for him. I have to say, him coming back. Just let me get a quick drink. 2 seconds. Cristiano Ronaldo coming back and doing what he did at the age he's at. There isn't a single player on the planet who would do that. Challenge me. Put it in the chat. Not a single player who would do what he's done. It's phenomenal, really. I think it's underrated, to be honest. It's unreal being 3rd top goal scorer at the age of 37 in that shit United team as well. How shit was we last season? And he was still pulling clutch moments out the bag. And it just shows his talent on, like, I have to say, I love the standards he sets. I love the mentality. I love his passion for the club. And if we had another 11 players with them traits, we'd probably have a few trophies in the bag, and we'd probably be happy because he sets the standards. He is the guy. He is the main guy at that club. If we didn't have Ronaldo last season, obviously we say Ronaldo and De Gea were the guys, right? They were the guys. If we didn't have them two last season, fuck knows where we would have been. Fuck knows where we would have finished because he was our only striker. Cavani was injured. He always had a misplaced hair, or his toenail was a bit too long. Like, we didn't have, and obviously everything that happened with Mason, we had no striker. Ronaldo was the only hope. If he got injured, we were fucked. Absolutely fucked. You saw when we played against City, it was like Bruno and Pogba as false nines. It just didn't work at all. So we would have been screwed. He literally saved us. And he could have easily gone to City. I always mention this, right? But he could have. If you're Cristiano Ronaldo, right, take passion, everything like that out of it, just looking at it from a solid football point and where you're going to win trophies and where you're going to win more. If he would have gone to Manchester City, he would have probably got Golden Boot, the amount of chances that he would have been having, provided for him. He probably would have won trophy. Well, they wouldn't have won the Premier League title. If you put him in the City squad in that Champions League run, potentially with his experience, with his clutch moments, City could have won the Champions League. They could have got past. Who did he get knocked out by? Madrid? Is it Real Madrid? Exactly. Like, he could have produced a massive, massive moment like Benzema did for them, and they would have been in the final and possibly won it. Like, he had that opportunity to go there, and he turned it down and said, you know what? United, yeah, we finished second last season, but that was a false, not last season, the season before, sorry, before Ronaldo came in. Yeah, we finished second, but that was a false position. This is like, it was a pandemic. Liverpool had all their injuries. It was a false position. We weren't the second best team. We definitely wasn't. So Ronaldo might have been looking at it, I think, right, so there's a little bit more to improve on there. Maybe I can take them to that next level. But no one could have foreseen what happened the season just gone. Not a single person. The amount of shit that went on. I actually felt sorry for Rangnick because I don't think he realised when he came in how much shit he had to deal with. He's walked through the door and gone, he's left, he wants to go, he's not happy. The board are working like this. They care more about social media clicks than performances on the pitch. They're focusing on Twitter and TikTok and in meetings and stuff. And I'm trying to get like a proper football thing going here. He didn't have a pre-season to work with the players. He just come straight into the mix and was just like, "What? This is this is the hand I'm dealt. What the fuck's going on?" So in respect to that, I don't think Ronaldo truly had a clue of the whole club. I think he saw things from the outside and was like, "The finish second, I can take him to that next level." And how he did in the Champions League and the league was just absolutely incredible. And I love the guy. And it leads me again onto my next point. I believe if I'm Ten Hag now, I'm taking the captaincy off Barry Maguire and I'm giving it to this man. Set the example, set the benchmark of how you should be performing and what leadership really looks like. Because I always go back to this. If you're a player, right, yeah, and you walk into Manchester United, let's do a hypothetical situation. You're Frankie de Jong and we sign him. Frankie de Jong walks through the door, played with, class players throughout his career. Walks through the door at Manchester United. He goes, all right, lads, blah, blah, blah. Has a chat with him. And he says, all right, who's the captain here, by the way? And they all point over that way and go, oh, it's him. It's Barry Maguire. And and he's falling over his own feet and like missing headers and struggling to run back. They're the standards he's setting. Captains set the standards in training. Roy Keane did it. Gary Neville did it. There's a certain level, and Rio did it to a certain point. Cantona as well. You set examples in training. Harry Maguire being captain is that is the epitome of last season. You put Ronaldo in charge, he sets a certain level. He did it anyway. He was the captain. He was everybody's captain, but didn't wear the armband. Do you know what I mean? He's the captain for Portugal. I'm pretty sure he was captain for Juventus. Just give the guy take it off Barry. Maybe Barry Maguire will have a better season with the captain's armband off him. Do you know what I mean? Maybe he'll take a bit of pressure off him. He won't be under the scrutiny as much. And Ronaldo's used to that pressure. He was born with pressure. Pressure makes diamonds, and in big pressure moments, that is what he produces. You look at everything you want in a captain: leadership, quality, consistency, know-how, trophies. He's the perfect fit for it. If you got a CV, he has the absolute perfect CV to be the captain. And I would be very surprised if Ten Hag chooses to stick with Harry Maguire as captain. I really would. It'd be amazing. If I'm sat here at the end of the season now saying Ronaldo at the age of 38, take away the captaincy, but just in general, if we're sat here next season and Ronaldo at the age of 38 has scored the same amount of goals or more than Haaland has for City, or Núñez for Liverpool, or Salah for Liverpool for that match, the impact of them goals will be irrelevant because if we don't win anything significant, that's a big blow. And that'll be Ronaldo's main concerns. They'll think, right, well, I could score another 18, 20 goals in the Premier League. Easy. But what significance is it going to have if we're just fighting for top four again? What's the point? I could do it. He's definitely in his locker to do it. You got Chelsea who just signed Lukaku there for 110 million pounds. and he's flopped. He's done fuck all. He scored 6 league goals or something like that. So yeah, Ronaldo is a massive, massive addition. I hope he stays, and I know he's frustrated with the transfer movement, and just like all of us fans, every single one of us are. If we bring in decent quality players, let's say we bring in De Jong, Antony, who else? Who else we look with? De Jong, Antony. I don't think it'll be Timber. I think probably Martinez from Ajax or Pau Torres, and then another player. That'll be, you got Sancho, Antony, Ronaldo up top. That is frightening, because this leads me to the next point. Let me just have a quick. Lovely girlfriend's bought me a Starbucks. 2 seconds. Oh. So yeah, you think about that front three: Antony, Sancho, Ronaldo. Now, I was discussing this with Sam on a show the other day. Right, we always play down our left-hand side. Any team that if they're looking at us from a tactical perspective, we always play down the left-hand side with Shaw and Sancho, Shaw, Rashford, whoever it is. And when Pogba used to drift left, Bruno Fernandes drifts left. So that is our main focal point for attacking. If a team shuts that down, they pretty much shut us down. We can't really do much, because that's the only, creative area where we work at. You bring Antony on the right-hand side and have him develop a partnership with Dalot or whoever it may be. I doubt it would be Wan-Bissaka, but just run it with me for a minute. You then got both sides to deal with. This is why City are so effective, because they have great creative players in every aspect of the pitch, and all of them can rotate and play in different. But you got Foden, who can play as a false 9 on the wing, as an 8. You got Bernardo Silva, who can literally play all across the midfield, all across the front line. So they can rotate, they can create angles, and they cause constant problems for teams, like, consistently. We don't have that. We're very one way, one dynamic, like, boom, down the left-hand side. Shut that out, we're done. Bring Antony into the fold, develop a partnership with the right back, have attacking football. Ronaldo will get much more chances, and he will feed off that. And I have no doubt in my mind, next season, he will probably put in similar numbers. And I hope he gets put as captain. But just to kind of finish off on the Ronaldo thing, I completely understand his frustrations, 100%. Like us fans now, we sat here thinking, like, what's going on? Is there any point in signing anyone that? Like, we're losing out on targets. People are going here, there. Like, people we've been linked with, there's like a list of 30 people, and they're like, gone to a, like, it's going to get to a point where our option C's are gone. And then we have to end up paying big money for De Jong, like 85 million for him or whatever. So I get why you're being stubborn with certain transfers. I get you trying to develop a certain reputation, but it's time to go now. We need to get deals done. I imagine now that probably the next one will be Christian Eriksen through the door. That seems like it's close. It's an easy deal to do. Free transfer, just put him on decent wages, better wages than he's on at Brentford. And that'll be the first one. And maybe De Jong will come after that. But I think once the De Jong one is done, that's when the dominoes of players will come through, your Antonys and a few others. So let's just hope within the next couple of days, maybe today, we hear something. I'm actually surprised yesterday when the Glazers took that money. The dividends, money, but yeah, the dividends, that they didn't announce something to try to distract everybody from that. I'm really surprised, because that is so United to do that. But I hope we get someone through the door. I hope Ronaldo's happy with the team he has around him and can perform to a top level again. I hope they take the captaincy off Maguire. I hope fucking the Glazers, go from this club, someone buys it. Well, that's unrealistic. It's probably not going to happen, but I will constantly be in hope of that happening. And yeah, that is the theme for the full thing. We're just in hope, aren't we? We're all waiting for something to happen, but we don't know what's going to happen. That's why I say there's a dark cloud over Old Trafford at the moment, and the Glazers taking money that they have is just an absolute fucking joke. A joke. So yeah, thank you for watching, guys. It's great to be back. I've been mega busy this week on 12-hour shifts, not had much time to vent on Manchester United, so it's great to be on here live with you lot. If you've enjoyed the show, smash a like on the video and hit that subscribe button for us. That would be amazing. And have a great weekend. If you're not busy later on, follow us on socials. Just go on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, type in Real Reds Talk and follow us on there for all, like your clips, like your funny clips that you get from the shows and stuff. They're on TikTok. The TikTok's doing really well, like 30k views on certain videos. So yeah, that's doing great. Twitter's really great for your news, your updates and stuff, if you want regular news updates. And Instagram is a bit of everything. There's some lives, there's some news stories, some interactions. If you want to drop us a DM on there, talk about the Glazers, talk about United, whatever it is. We love interacting with you lot. And yeah, we're trying to grow this channel to make it fucking massive. So yeah, thank you for watching again. It's been an absolute pleasure. The schedule will be out on Monday morning, so you guys know what videos will be out on which day. Obviously, we've got pre-season next week, so we'll be covering that live. And if anything breaks, I will go live myself or one of the other lads will. So yeah, hit that subscribe button, like the video if you're feeling generous as well, and I'll probably see you guys in the next one. Take care of yourselves. Have a lovely weekend. Peace.